What's up, everybody? This is Zanny Cakes with another Path of Diablo video, and today we are going to be talking about crafting. Crafting is one of my absolute favorite parts of Diablo, simply because you can get some of the best pieces of gear in the entire game that are not possible to get anywhere else. There are quite a few good, unique, and rune words that make a lot of the crafts not worth the time, but there are other crafts that are just absolutely amazing and have the potential to be complete game changers. In this video, I will go over crafting pieces of gear, using gems or skulls to re-roll blue and yellow items, and I will talk about how the Orb of Corruption system works in Path of Diablo. There are timestamps in the description below for your convenience, and if you find the content to be beneficial or you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite thing to craft is. So let's talk about crafting items. There are 4 different classes of crafted items in the game. This would be Caster, Blood, Hit Power, and Safety. In each of these classes, you can craft rings, amulets, weapons, boots, belts, headpieces, shields, and gloves. There are a lot of different options when it comes to crafting items, so which ones are actually worth it? The most commonly crafted items would be amulets, specifically Caster and Blood amulets. Caster and Blood rings are also very common. Caster boots, Caster belt, Caster gloves, and Blood gloves and Safety gloves are all very good recipes to craft. Each crafting recipe takes 4 items. This is a specific rune, a specific piece of blue gear, a specific gem, and any jewel. You put these in the cube and transmute them, and they will create a new item that is the same type as the blue item used in the recipe, but they will roll with a preset list of existing mods, plus they will roll up to 4 other affixes that you can find on rare items of that type. If you take a look at the recipe for the Caster amulet, you will see that it gives you bonus to mana regeneration, as well as faster cast rate. These mods are guaranteed to be on your crafted item, and then you will get 4 more random affixes that go with it. The 4 affixes that go with it can be either prefixes or suffixes, but you can only have up to 3 of each kind, meaning that you can have 3 suffixes and 1 prefix, you can have 2 and 2, or you can have 3 prefixes and 1 suffix. This means that it is possible to roll a +2 to Sorceress Skills Amulet with 30 Strength, 20 to all resistances, 20% faster cast rate, 20 to mana, and 10% mana regeneration. As far as Sorceress Amulets go, this is leaps and bounds better than a Mara's Kaleidoscope. So how do you make a Caster Amulet? The recipe for a Caster Amulet is a Ral rune, a perfect amethyst, a blue amulet, and a jewel of any type. You can do this at any level, but to get the most out of your crafting materials and your crafting experience in general, things get pretty complicated behind the scenes. Crafting is affected by both the item level of the blue item that you use in the recipe, as well as your character level that is actually doing the crafting. There is a lot of math and formulas that go into each crafted item to determine what can actually roll on the item that you craft, but I will save you the time and headache that is involved with all of that and just tell you what levels you need to be to get the best results out of your crafting. Starting off with amulets, you need to be level 90 and you need to be crafting level 90 blue amulets. That being said, the way that the formula works, you can be level 86 and craft a level 94 amulet. You can be level 96 and craft a level 84 amulet, but the average between your character level and the item level needs to be level 90, and the formula is based off of even levels. This means that you have to be level 92 to use a level 88 amulet. You cannot be level 91 and you craft a level 89 amulet. The level 90 average is the lowest level that you can be and get +2 to class skills. If you are below this average level, you cannot roll +2 to sorceress skills. You can, however, still roll +2 to lightning skills, just not +2 to all sorceress skills. This level 90 average applies to all the crafting recipes, not just the caster recipes. You need a level 90 average to get +2 to skills on blood, safety, and hit power amulets as well. When it comes to crafting rings, the formula is slightly different because rings have lower affix levels that they are able to potentially roll. To roll every possible affix on a ring, you need to have an average level of 86. This being said, the average level 86 provides you with the ability to roll 6% mana leech on the ring. However, if you do roll 6% mana leech on a ring, the ring itself can require up to level 96 to use. If you are crafting caster rings and are not concerned about mana leech, or if you are concerned about having the level 96 required level, the most efficient way to craft rings is to use a level 81 to level 83 character to both gamble and craft your rings. This means you will not be able to roll +6% mana leech on the ring, but the ring itself will require a maximum of level 85 to equip. Crafting gloves is by far the most in-depth and complicated of all of the crafting recipes because you can craft different tiers with the recipe itself, and heavy bracers have a different quality level than chain gloves do, meaning that you need different levels for crafting each of these gloves to get the best results. My personal favorite glove crafting recipe would be hit power gloves. It is possible to get 20 increased attack speed, +2 to bow and crossbow skills, strength and dexterity, and then the recipe itself has knockback on it. Blood gloves are also good as they give you life leech as well as crushing blow. Also, when it comes to crafting gloves, the highest affixes that you can roll are the charged affixes, like charges of freezing arrow or charges of bone spirit. It is not possible to rule out all of these affixes, but you can get rid of 6 of them by having very specific levels when you're crafting. When crafting gloves, it is actually better to shop for your gloves as opposed to gamble them. When crafting normal quality gloves like chain gloves or heavy gloves, you want to shop these items from vendors as well as craft them on a character that is level 69 to 72. And when crafting exceptional quality gloves, which would be heavy bracers and sharkskin gloves, it is best to do this on a character that is between level 76 and 78. This rules out 6 different affixes that you do not want on your gloves, as well as it will keep your required level down. For whatever reason, the charged affixes have very high level requirements, and even if your gloves are super awesome, nobody's going to want them if they require level 98 to actually equip. Moving on to both belts and boots, you need an average level of 74 to get the best crafting results. However, it is best to gamble and craft these on a level 88 character or higher, simply because you have a better chance of getting exceptional and elite items with a level 88 character when you are gambling the blue items for your recipe. My absolute favorite crafting recipe out of all of the item crafts would actually be the blood weapon. Even though in all my years of playing Diablo and all the crafts I've ever done, I have never gotten a good one, it is possible to get a 560% enhanced damage berserker axe with this recipe. In Path of Diablo, if you were to take that and slam 6 open sockets on it and put all Ohm runes in it, you would have an 860% enhanced damage berserker axe of awesomeness. That being said, the most common item that I craft is caster amulets. Next on our list of crafting recipes would be using gems to reroll blue items. With this recipe, you put a blue item in your cube with 3 perfect gems of any kind, and it will completely reroll the stats on the blue item. You can use perfect skulls in this recipe, however, I would recommend saving your perfect skulls as you can use 6 perfect skulls to reroll the stats on a yellow item. In Path of Diablo, these are best used to reroll map relics in an attempt to get higher density and experience modifiers on your relics. I personally save all of my perfect skulls to reroll any of the red map relics or Pleasant Pasture relics that I get that have less than 500% density on them. The most common item to reroll with your perfect gems are Grand Charms, as you can take a +1 to maximum damage Grand Charm, which is completely useless, and turn it into a skiller with life. When it comes to re-rolling, your character level does not matter at all. It only is based off of the level of the item that you are re-rolling. I have a dedicated mule where I put all of my perfect gems, as well as I have a cube with the charms that I'm re-rolling on that character. So I just mule over all my gems and then use that level 1 character to re-roll with. When re-rolling Grand Charms, the best level that you can have is a level 91 or higher Grand Charm. You can get these off of Diablo, Nihilithak, and Bale, as well as the unique pack monsters in the red maps. The level 91 Grand Charms are the only charms that can roll between 40 and 45 life on them. So ideally, you could get +1 to skills with 45 life on a Grand Charm. The best I've gotten this season so far has been a Druid Summoning Skill Charm with 44 hit points on it. If you are only concerned about getting the plus to skills, the best level charm that you can use for this is between level 50 and 54, as you need a item level of 50 to get a plus to skill mod on a Grand Charm, and keeping the charm at level 54 or below that rules out a lot of other modifiers that you are not looking for. If you're only interested in re-rolling your plain skiller charms, the best place to farm these is actually in the Great Marsh in Act 3 on the Nightmare difficulty. You can also re-roll small charms if you're looking for 3 max damage, 20 attack rating, and 20 life small charms, 5 all resistances with 20 life small charms, or 17 mana 20 life small charms. The ideal level for the small charms for all 3 of those options is between level 47 and 56. And it is also possible to re-roll jewels. If you are looking for 40 enhanced damage, 15 increased attack speed, or increased attack speed with resistance jewels, you need a jewel that is level 66 or higher. As I mentioned earlier, you can use 6 perfect skulls to reroll the stats on a yellow item, but it is not really worth your time, and I would highly recommend using your perfect skulls to reroll map relics. This brings us to the Orb of Corruption system in Path of Diablo. I absolutely love the Orb of Corruption system. It's kind of like crafting and gambling all rolled into one. And how this works is you get a random drop called an Orb of Corruption that can randomly drop off of anything in the game as far as I'm aware. I have seen them drop in Act 1 normal, but they're not very common at all. The higher difficulty that you are in, the more common they become. And the best place to farm for Orbs of Corruption would be within maps. You take the Orb of Corruption and put it in the cube with a piece of gear, click the transmute button twice, and one of 4 things will happen. On items that can have sockets, like body armor, helmets, weapons, or shields, you can get up to the maximum amount of sockets on that particular item. And in some cases, it is required for you to upgrade the item from exceptional to elite to get the maximum number of sockets. One very good example of this would be with Skins of the Viper Magi. A serpent skin armor can only get 2 sockets, whereas if you upgrade it to a worm hide, you can get 4 sockets on it. The Vampire's Gaze Grimhelm can only get 2 sockets, so if you want the maximum 3 sockets, you have to upgrade those to a Bone Visage to have a chance at the 3rd. There is also a chance that you can get some random modifier. These modifiers are specific to what piece of gear you are corrupting. For example, on an amulet, you can get 5% all resistances, +1 to all skills, 15% mana regeneration, 10% magic find, or 12 to 18 life. The third option is that the item will remain as it is. This is considered to be corrupted no change. And on that note, you can only corrupt an item one time. So if there is no change to it, that is all there is to it. And the last one would be the dreaded brick, which turns the item into a random yellow of the same type. So this means if you find a Griffin's Eye diadem, you have the potential of getting 3 open sockets on it that you can throw facets in, or you can get random modifiers like plus the strength, or plus energy, or life gained on hit. You can have no change, or it can turn into a random yellow diadem with random stats as if you just picked it up off the ground and identified it. If you cannot afford to lose the item, do not corrupt it. I learned this the hard way when I first started playing Path of Diablo. I made a sorceress, just barely started out, got lucky and found an Oculus off of Shank. Thought I would corrupt it because it would be cool to get 3 sockets so I can put some Ist runes in there for magic find. And it turned into some random yellow piece of Charcy food, and I ended up having to go back to my Spirit Crystal Sword. If you can afford to live without the item that you're corrupting, it is very highly recommended, as it can make the piece of gear that you're using significantly better or significantly more valuable if you plan on trading it. But again, do not corrupt it if you are relying on that piece of gear. One thing that I will do is if I am just starting out and I find something good like a Shaco, I will hold off on corrupting it until I find another Shaco. That way, if it is corrupted no change, then I'm not really losing anything. I can put a socket in it with Larzuk, put a Topaz in it, and then I don't have to worry about losing the other one because I already have one, so then I can corrupt the second one at a shot for 2 open sockets. There is a 25% chance of each effect happening. However, on the items that do not have the capability of having sockets, such as an amulet or a ring, you have a 25% chance of getting a new modifier, a 50% chance of corrupted no change, and a 25% chance of the item bricking. I hope that you found this video informative. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite crafting strategy is. And as always, good luck, have fun, and I hope to see you out there.